Caitlin Clark out tonight against the LA Sparks with a groin injury.
So lads, Caitlin Clark is out injured right now, and it appears that we know, well, she's out injured with a groin injury, and it appears there is footage of how it happened. And this one's on the coach. This one seems to be on the coach, but at the end of the day, I do think when it comes to this that it's not like there was nothing beforehand. It's not like she was 100% healthy.
Caitlin Clark's injuries appears to be much more serious than initially believed, leaving the WNBA and its supporters in disbelief. What was first believed to be a minor groin injury that would keep Clark out of action for 1 or 2 games has now evolved into a potentially more serious issue as a result of her missing numerous practices and being classified as day-to-day with no obvious comeback date. Speculation of a more serious soft tissue injury increased after a video showed her sitting on the bench during the Fever's June 24 game, apparently grimacing in anguish. As her absence persists, worries about her long-term health and the severe physical stress she experienced during her abrupt shift from academic prominence to the professional world are intensifying.
You guys have been watching the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark play. Over the past 3 games, it is very clear that Caitlin Clark is not feeling like Caitlin Clark. She has only made 1 3-pointer in her last 3 games, and even just last game, she only had 6 points. But it wasn't only her performance on the court that was worrying fans, it was also just her demeanor, her energy. It felt like something was wrong. She wasn't hyping up the crowd like she normally does, and even in her pre-game routine, she was doing some things differently. Some fans also noticed that she had her upper left leg taped during a couple of those games, so there's a lot of things going on, a lot of things pointing to the fact that something wasn't right. And I have to be totally honest with you guys, I'm not surprised by this news at all. I was just having a conversation with my fiance last night, and I told him, I was like, I think Caitlin's hurt. I'm not going to be surprised if sometime soon the Indiana Fever pulls her and sits her for a few games. I think she is still battling some sort of...
Clark reportedly suffered a left groin injury on June 24 while playing against Seattle. She is being evaluated daily, according to team officials, and will not participate in the next games, including those against the Sparks and Wings, while she recovers and undergoes an MRI. The necessity of caution was emphasized by coach Stephanie White, who also noted that Clark is still working on non-con tasks and is being closely monitored to prevent setbacks. This is in accordance with accepted treatment recommendations for mild to severe groin injuries, which normally recommend a few weeks of rest rather than extended absence.
She looks like she's kind of jogging around okay, and I have a feeling that she's gotten scans. The reason they're saying day-to-day is I think that it is actually day-to-day, because I think they don't have a clue what's wrong with her. I think it's going to be diagnosed just like her quads, just like obviously the MRI showed us quad strain and then it was okay and she still seemed like there's something wrong. I don't think they know what's wrong with it. I think it's one of those I think it's going to be one of those weird injuries where it's it'll be found out that it's as I've said, I think it could very well be a pinched nerve that is just causing all problems in her leg. Something like a pinched nerve in her hip, which is causing groin pain, which is what caused extra stress on her quad. I have a weird feeling.
However, a widely shared slow-motion video that depicts Clark writhing on the bench after rising to celebrate has significantly increased social media users' anxieties. Despite the terrifying aspect of the video, athletes often react to discomfort, even with small injuries. Professional athletes may recover faster due to their access to top-notch treatment teams, but mild to moderate groin strains often go away in 1 to 2 months, per medical recommendations. As of yet, there are no indications of a rip or other structural problems.
Caitlin Clark will miss tonight's Fever game against the Sparks with a groin issue. Remember, she did not miss a game in college or her first year in the W. She's already missed 5 games with a quad injury this season and now will add tonight to the list. Clark, unfortunately, is in a shooting slump as well, going 1 for 23 from 3 over her last 3 games. Ari Chambers is here to break this all down for us. So Caitlin Clark obviously is not going to be on the floor tonight, and that's unfortunate. Shooting slump and all, her presence.
Her ailment follows a left quadricep strain that kept her out of play for over 3 weeks in May. These lower body issues are unusual for Clark, who participated in 185 consecutive games during her university career and her first WNBA season. Despite the fact that this pattern clearly raises concerns over wear, medical updates continue to describe her condition as managed and non-catastrophic.
16 seconds to go, the game's over, and Caitlin Clark gets subbed back on the court for some reason. And Aaliyah Boston throws a bad handoff to her. Like, it was a bad handoff by Aaliyah Boston there. She's then running after the ball, and then she just pulls up with something. She pulls up with something, like she just jumps in the air. Like, I thought she tripped over her own feet. She just jumps in the air. Like, if you're looking at that, like, that's not tripping over her own feet. She just jumps in the air and then eventually hits the deck in that position there. Like, she could have definitely blown at her knee from that landing, by the way. She's lucky she didn't blow at her. She's lucky she got a full push on that and her knee didn't buckle in. But she ends up down from that. And I originally thought, and I'm like, there's nothing crazy.
Beyond his effectiveness on the court, Clark's absence has practical consequences. In games without her, the Fever has gotten out of control in contrast to a nearly .500 record while she was playing. Attendance and engagement have also declined. When her unavailability was announced, ticket prices reportedly dropped by about 40%. It worries league stakeholders and fans that Clark is still being treated cautiously. Given how significant she is, it was a smart decision.
Caitlin Clark will miss at least 2 weeks with a left quad strain. Wednesday's game at the Mystics will be the first game she's ever missed, college or pro here. Clark leads the W in assists this season, and the Fever, they now face a critical stretch without their star. Alexa Philippou covering the Fever for us this season and joining us now. Alexa, can you just shed some light on when this injury actually occurred? And do you have any idea how serious is this?
Well, Malika, what we've been told so far by the team is that this is actually an injury that was separate from the quad tightness issue, as Caitlin Clark described it earlier in the preseason, that she dealt with before. So it's a little bit of interesting situation given that it was the same leg, but the team is saying it is actually a new injury. We did see that after she missed that first preseason contest with that quad issue, she returned and played in the rest of the preseason, even though she was limited at some points.
Welcome back to Stephen A. Smith Show. Now let's get to the WNBA, where the Indiana Fever announced that star Caitlin Clark will be out at least 2 weeks with a left quad strain. Clark reported some pain in her leg Saturday after the team's loss to the New York Liberty. She subsequently underwent an MRI and was diagnosed with the strain on Monday. Clark was the WNBA's Rookie of the Year last season and a first-team All-WNBA selection. So far, she's averaging 19 points and a league-leading 9.3 assists through 4 games this season. I could give a damn about that last part. I don't care about her leading the league in assists. I don't care about the points that she's averaging because I already know that the young lady can ball.
Stephen A. Smith noted on the May 27th episode of First Take that he was quite curious to watch how the WNBA ratings fare over the next weeks without Clark. He said that a sharp decline would lend credence to the notion that Clark is the best player in the league. Everyone needs to accept and stand down and ride that wave if her absence reveals her ability to draw viewers, Smith stated, adding that Clark's popularity might benefit the entire WNBA and that a rising tide lifts all boats.
Need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark? I mean, which one is it? Which one is it?
I think I'll just be the female version of Steph Curry.
I mean, you hear people talking about you and throwing out those comparisons. Speak about how that makes you feel, about how you've just taken the world by storm because of your shooting prowess.
Yeah, I really feel like I'm still kind of in a dream in the real world. I mean, it's kind of crazy, obviously. Those are the players I kind of grew up watching. Obviously, Steph Curry's kind of changed the game, and he's a player I grew up loving. I still love. I watch him all the time. So it's kind of crazy seeing all those NBA players, WNBA players tweet about you, talk about you. But, you know, I still enjoy every single second of it for sure.
Do you feel right now you're the best player in women's college basketball?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. I think my teammates would say the same.
Even without Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever completely humiliated the Chicago Sky 79-52 in the United Center. Despite just scoring 4 points on a pitiful 2 out of 7 shooting attempt, Angel Reed pulled down 12 rebounds. Chicago's lowest scoring total since 2011 made Ray and the squad the target of harsh criticism. The performance was deemed embarrassing by both fans and commentators, especially considering Sky's spectacular pre-game entrance, which many thought was outdated.
What I'm interested in is what somebody tweeted me and asked about earlier today that I want to show you right now. Put this tweet up, please, so our audience can see it here. At 4th Gen Bucci, B-U-C-C-I. Right, Stephen A. Smith. Can the WNBA keep itself afloat while CC, as in Caitlin Clark, is out? End quote. My answer would be yes. I'm not going to summarily dismiss the WNBA, its growing popularity, some of the athletes that they have in there. I mean, Asia Wilson, come on now. I mean, it really starts with her. We all know what she brings to the table. Brianna Stewart and others, we see what this league has available to itself and what it's maintained. We get that part. But I'm not going to ignore, nor am I going to take my eyes off of what transpires with the WNBA over the next.
Stephen A. Smith emphasized that while Caitlin Clark's absence is a significant setback, the WNBA's recent success isn't dependent on a single player. He believes that even without Clark, the league currently has enough depth and momentum, bolstered by players like Sabrina, A.A. Wilson, and up-and-coming talent. Smith cited the league's unprecedented viewership and soaring franchise values as evidence that momentum isn't limited to a single athlete. However, he admitted that her absence momentarily dampens the mood and forces the WNBA to showcase its greater skill set. In the end, he has a bright outlook. Regular coverage and witty narratives could contribute to the league's success. However, Clark's eventual return will be the biggest advantage.
And then I see articles like this. Embarrassment hits Angel Reese against Caitlin Clark as Chicago Sky head coach defends number 5. Uh-oh. Now, y'all got me. The defendant, and then I started reading this article, and I actually read it all. And I said, oh, hell no. I ain't doing that to my peoples. I'm looking for the quotes. I don't see many. Then I hit this. No. Y'all taking me on another place. So now we gonna get there. I summed it up. You know my second brain works. Let's get here. What were they talking about? Why are y'all up in arms right now? Why are a lot of the Angel Reese supporters retreating? Why are they going backwards right now? This is why, and this is disturbing. And this, let's be real, kind of embarrassing.
When it comes to Caitlin Clark, now I've taken hits because I was calling it from day one. You got people that are resentful towards her, but it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind of shine. This girl, the Golden Goose, comes along and she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP.
Jason Whitlock claims that Caitlin Clark's unanticipated groin injury is more than just a setback. In his opinion, it serves as a symbolic tipping point for the widespread jealousy he perceives in the WNBA. He claims that many players have turned the league into a toxic environment of envy and hatred because they feel threatened by Clark's stardom, despite the fact that she was hailed as its white heterosexual savior. According to Whitlock, this goes beyond a simple physical confrontation. Emotional warfare ultimately broke Clark. Caitlin's fight isn't just on the court, it's a battle for respect. If you stand with her, show your support right now, drop a like, share this video, and let your voice be heard.